Well, we're here today to tell you the story and show you the history and the story of 503 South Duluth, or 503 South Summit. We have a long story behind this property. It's one that stretches back to 2012, and so it's a long story. It took from 2012, when the complaints first started coming in, until March of 2016 before our colleagues at Affordable Housing Solutions were able to acquire the property, and now here 15 months later you see the house that's been developed behind me. So again, a long story. It started out, and the project started out with a story of how a neighborhood expressed concerns for what was happening in the neighborhood, and it'll tell you a little bit about the process that we go through to resolve those concerns. The original property in this location was described as owned by a person that Mayor Huther described as a bad neighbor. And I think those of you who are neighbors and have lived in this neighborhood for a long time kind of realize what he was talking about. It was part of your life. But I noted before I came down here, I was given, and this was even before the time I was with the city, but I was given the number of police calls for 2013 was 42 calls in a 12-month period. So do the math, that's an average of 3 to 4 calls a month. Some of the more notable calls that we received, 9 were for disorderly subjects is the description that it was, 4 for family disputes, 1 for a narcotics violation, 1 for a weapons violation. So you can see they were pretty significant kinds of things. And in addition to the 18 that I just mentioned, there were 28 other calls for service from the police department, so a lot of problems. In addition, the health department and the building services code enforcement spent a lot of time responding to complaints and following the processes that need to be done. So it took a long time to work through that process. These were, if it was a bad owner of the property, it was also bad tenants, because a lot of the people had little, if any, concern for the neighbors in the neighborhood, and little concern for how their behavior affected others. The property was deteriorated and eventually left vacant and abandoned. It took another couple of years to work through the court system to get authority to close out the property, and then it was available for acquisition, so it took a long time to do that. And like I said before, in March of 2016, the property was sold to Affordable Housing Solutions, our partner in this process. Maybe I can say a few words about our objective in doing this process and carrying that out. Basically, we have 2 objectives that we try to follow in our program in community development. One of which is what we call neighborhood stabilization. It's taking neighborhoods that may be good, solid neighborhoods that provide housing and good community environment for people for years, but perhaps for whatever reason have gone downhill or have not been taken care of or owned by someone who didn't take proper care of their property. So we like to see the opportunity to pick up those houses and make a significant difference in the community. We also are very interested, and part of our mission is to provide affordable housing to low and moderate income people. Home ownership is the one way that folks can start accumulating equity, kind of become part of what the American dream is in terms of ownership of a home and raising their families in a good neighborhood. This is an excellent example of what we do, and I might draw your attention to the fact I checked this morning. We've had this program going since 2000, and in that time period we've done this in 60 houses across the central core of Sioux Falls. So it's a lot of housing and a lot of activity over those 17 years. This brightens up the neighborhood and oftentimes acts as a shot in the arm necessary to help maintain or turn around a neighborhood. Just before we got in the conference, someone drew my attention to the house diagonally across the street, and you can see how people are taking an older home, turning it back into something that is really an attractive, well-finished home, and complements very well what's right here behind me at 503 South Summit. So with that, I'll introduce my partner and his partner organization, Affordable Housing Solutions. This is Carl Fulmer. Carl, you want to shed some light on it?
I don't want to take up too much time with comments. First, I'll tell you a little bit about affordable housing solutions. I'm a relative newbie to Sioux Falls. I've been here about 6 months, and Affordable Housing Solutions is a nonprofit development signatory of the Sioux Falls Housing and Redevelopment Commission. Could you hear me there? Okay. And I do want to thank Shireen Ranshaw, the previous director. Shireen really did a lot to grow Affordable Housing Solutions, as well as Wayne Wagner, the development director for Affordable Housing Solutions. Just to give you a little bit of history of Affordable Housing Solutions, I'll call it AHS from now on. We used to develop about 2 to 3 homes a year up until just a couple of years ago. This year, combined with the city, in coordination with the city, we'll build approximately 16 single-family homes, as well as 12 attached residences for home ownership. And what we really see at AHS is that we're helping develop community. I think when we look at families like the one standing behind us today, that's what this program's really all about. You know, we serve families that make roughly $10 to $16 an hour. They work hard, and they're just getting priced out of the community. So that's really what this program's about. I don't really want to take up too much more time. With that, I guess I should introduce Eli.
Sure.
The new homeowner here, home buyer. Eli, do you want to say a few words, or?
Yes.
Okay.
What I want to say, thank you for these people who bring this program. It's very good program for the people who has like low income. Cause like if you try to buy a house and you have low income, it's not gonna be possible to get a house. So what I want to thank to the Sioux Falls City. Who bring this program. Like myself, is like me and my family, we was not gonna know if we gotta be able to have a house. But because of this program, I'm happy with my family. Now we have our own house, Cause it was many times I tried to buy house through this program. I didn't be able to get the house. But because of this program, now me and my family, we have our own house. What I want to tell other people who has low income is very good to, to see if they can be able to get it qualified, because if they gotta be able to get it qualified, it's very nice to be having like your own property and your own house. Because like myself, I've been counting how many months or how many years I've been living here in the United States, and how much I've been spending for renting. It was a lot of money. But now whatever I can pay, I will be paying. I know is my house. So again, I thank for the people who've been helping me to found this program, because I never know what I can do or what I can go. But I thank to Kim. She work with Higgs, and I think for the Amy, she work on bank. Those people, they help me to get this program. So now I'm happy because I'm having my own house. Thank you.